please kindly like and subscribe. It was a stormy night, and the rain tapped against my window like 1,000 tiny fingers. I sat alone in my living room, the flickering candlelight casting eerie shadows on the walls. The distant thunder added an ominous soundtrack to my solitude. As the clock struck midnight, a sudden creak echoed from upstairs. My heart skipped a beat. I lived alone, or at least I thought I did, trying to dismiss it as just the house settling. I reluctantly got up to investigate, each step producing an unnerving echo in the silence. Reaching the top of the staircase, I noticed my bedroom door was ajar. I distinctly remembered closing it before. Anxiety gripped me as I pushed the door open, revealing an empty room. I sighed in relief, thinking it was just my imagination playing tricks. But then, a soft whisper reached my ears, and I froze. It was a voice, my voice, murmuring my darkest secrets. Panic set in as I realized the words were mine, but the voice wasn't. I turned slowly, and there, in the dim light, a spectral figure materialized. It was me, or at least a distorted, ghostly version of myself. The figure mimicked my every move, its eyes staring into mine with an unsettling intensity. "I'm the reflection you ignore," it whispered, sending shivers down my spine. I stumbled backward, trying to escape this phantom version of myself, but it mirrored my retreat perfectly. As I backed into a corner, the figure's whispers grew louder, recounting my deepest fears and regrets. It was as if my own subconscious had come to life to haunt me. Terrified, I closed my eyes. When I opened them, the apparition was gone. The room was once again empty, and the only sound was the rain outside. I stood there drenched in sweat, questioning my sanity. Was it a manifestation of my own fears or a glimpse into a parallel reality? The storm raged on, and I was left alone, haunted by the echo of my own secrets. It was a quiet night, and I found myself alone at home, surrounded by the comforting glow of lamplight. The steady hum of the refrigerator was the only sound in the house. I decided to call it an early night and headed to bed, hoping for a peaceful sleep. As I lay in bed, the silence was suddenly shattered by the ringing of my phone. Startled, I glanced at the screen. It was my own number calling. Confused, I hesitated before reluctantly answering. A chill ran down my spine as I heard my own breathing on the other end. "Hello," I stammered, my voice shaky. There was a moment of eerie silence before a distorted version of my voice echoed through the phone saying, "You're not alone." Panic set in, and I could feel my heart racing. I jumped out of bed, gripping the phone tightly as I frantically checked each room. The air seemed to thicken with an unspoken presence. My own footsteps echoed through the house, but there was no one else in sight. As I stood in the empty hallway, my own voice whispered warnings, predicting my every move. Terrified, I retreated to the safety of my bedroom and locked the door. The atmosphere in the room changed, becoming heavy and oppressive. I clutched the phone, my hands trembling as my own voice softly whispered through the darkness. "You can't escape yourself." The room plunged into complete darkness, and the silence became deafening. I strained to hear any movement outside the door. Was it my own footsteps or something else? The air felt charged with an otherworldly energy, and I was left alone in the suffocating stillness, haunted by the echoes of my own voice. The night seemed endless as I waited, unsure if the nightmare was over or just beginning. The phone in my hand remained silent, but the memory of that unsettling call lingered, a constant reminder that sometimes the most haunting things are the echoes of our own existence. The house was quiet as I moved through the evening routine, preparing for bedtime. I found myself standing in front of the bathroom mirror, toothbrush in hand, ready to wind down. The soft glow of the overhead light cast a comforting ambience in the room. As I brushed my teeth, I caught a subtle movement in the reflection behind me. Startled, I turned around, but there was nothing there. I chalked it up to tired eyes, playing tricks, and continued my routine. However, as I resumed brushing, I noticed something unsettling. My reflection blinked when I didn't. Unease crept in, and I quickly turned off the faucet. I stared at myself in the mirror, half expecting my reflection to move independently again. Everything seemed normal for a moment, but then a slow, sinister smile formed on my reflection's face. My heart skipped a beat. Attempting to shake off the unease, I decided to leave the bathroom. But as I turned to exit, an invisible force seemed to hold me back. I was stuck in front of the mirror, unable to move. The atmosphere in the room changed, growing colder, and the once familiar reflection took on a malevolent demeanor. The mirrored version of me smirked, and in a hauntingly distorted voice, it whispered, "You're stuck in my world now." Panicking, I tugged at the bathroom door, but it refused to budge. The room transformed into a shadowy abyss, the walls closing in around me. Desperation gripped me, and in a final act of defiance, I slammed my hand against the mirror, shattering it into countless shards. As the glass broke, a chilling realization set in. Every shard held a piece of my reflection, each one grinning malevolently. In the fractured mirror, my reflection spoke in unison from every shard, their voices intertwining to deliver a haunting message. "You can't get away from yourself." The room echoed with the unsettling whispers as I stood amidst the broken glass, trapped in a nightmare where the mirror reflected not just my appearance, but the darkness within. The bathroom remained in ominous silence, the shattered mirrors serving as a chilling reminder that some reflections can't be escaped.